Good evening, everyone. My name is Rudra Pratap, and I am the student of Calorex Public School, Ghatlodia. I welcome all of you on FB Live of Saurabh English School, managed by Calorex Group. As we know, the 10th December is observed as a Human Rights Day. Human rights are moral principles or norms of a certain standard of a human behavior and are regularly protected by municipal and international law. The idea of human rights suggested that in the public discourse and peacetime, global society can be said to have a common moral language. It is that of human rights. To know what human rights are is important in our life and play a and it is important in a civilized society. When there is a lack of human rights, a society cannot please or cause nothing but problems and conflict. Human rights play a crucial role in our emotional health of the public society. Therefore, have a deep understanding of emotional aspect of society in just as important as knowing physical needs of society are. Today we have speaker Shrija Vora and Khushi Varkharia of grade 9 students of Saurabh English School to have a chat on topic human rights. I hope you will stay till the end of this informative session. We would like to know more about human rights from Shreya. So the first question from my side is: are human rights a problem in non-democratic countries?
Good question. There is no country in the world that has a completely clean record on human rights, even today. There may be more frequency violent in some countries than other, or they may affect it. A larger propagation of the population. But every signal violence is a problem that not to have happened, and that need to be a deal. An individual who writes and violent in one of the established democracies is hardly likely to be comfortable by the fact that is a general. Their country has a better record on human rights than other countries in the world.
I get what you mean. Thank you. Why should anyone respect them?
There is no country in the world that has a completely clean record on human rights. Even today, there may be more frequent violence in some countries than other, or they may affect. Sorry. Fundamentally, because everyone in a human being, and therefore a moral being, the majority of individuals is shown that they are violent someone else. Personal dignity will try to refrain in general. People do not want to hurt other people, however, in attention to the moral stakes of one's own consign or that the others, there is the legislation is most country of the world, which obliges government to respect the basic human rights of citizens even they may be unwilling to do so.
That's true. Now I would like to know more about human rights categories.
Oh, perfect question. Human rights are essentially divided into two categories of civil and political rights and social rights. This classification is important because it cleans the concept of human rights. Futures pulse, they also make human realize their role in different spheres. Human rights are extremely important for the overall development of the country. An individual on the personal level, if we look at the basic human rights, we see how there are human rights to life, freedom of movement, freedom from movements, and more. Each rights play a major role in well-being of any human. Thank you.
All sorts of human rights are important and play a major role in our life. Where do these human rights come from?
They come from the fact that we are not only physical beings, but also moral and spiritual human beings. Human rights are needed to protect and preserve every individual humanity, to ensure that every individual can live a life of dignity and life of that growth of human being.
Does anyone have a duty to protect my rights?
Yes, rights is meaningless without a corresponding responsibility or duty on someone else. But every individual has a moral duty not to violate your personal dignity, but your government is saying up to international agreements. Has has not just a moral duty but also a legal duty.
My next question is for Khushi. What are the most important human rights?
Nice question. Every human rights are important, but there are some very important human rights like right to life and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture, and right to work and education.
And what are the function of Human Rights Council?
Perfect question. Some people don't know about it, so may it will help them. The Human Rights Council is an intergovernmental body within the United Nations system responsible for addressing situation of human rights violations and make a recommendation on them.
Oh, I see. So who protect human rights?
People are confused about who can protect their rights. So for that, Office of a High Commissioner for the Human Rights, which is also known as OHCHR by United Nations, and also judiciary protect them.
Now, what are the exactly meaning of human rights?
Good question. Human rights are moral principle or norms for certain standard of human behavior and regularly protected in municipal and international law.
That made a lot of things clear to me and others who are watching us. Thank you so much for such informative chat. I hope the viewers are clear about what these human rights mean and how important are they in our life. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you.